What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video where we're going to be going over stocks before their earnings. Today we're going to be checking out Adobe, which is set to release their financials after the close on September 12th, 2024. Let's just hop right into it with our charts here. We have TradingView on the left and Thinkorswim on the right. We both have the day candles opened, and I'm going to tell you what I see here. In the last 8 quarters, Adobe has surprised on earnings, but not on revenue, which is a good thing to see from a stock that's growing and still at a pretty good price here at $579.65. So what I see here is from 2 quarters ago, we dipped and found a low at 440, and we found a high at around 630. We currently are in a bullish trend, although we're in a sell right here. Hopefully in the next day we may get a buy signal here, but it's worth noting also on the day candle on Thinkorswim we are in a downtrend. If you look to our right chart, we have our blue line, which is our 20 moving average, and our red line, which is our 50 moving average, I believe. We can see that our blue line retested, and we had a big spike up going back to 530 from 460, it looks like. And then just in the last quarter here, we've managed to increase the price of shares for Adobe from 511 to just about 580 here. Now we could top out around this mid-range like we did right before at 580 in the previous quarter. However, that may not be the case because we're in a bullish uptrend, and our RSI on the left on the TradingView chart is continuing to see some bullish momentum. We're seeing more volume come in, which is a nice sign to see before earnings. Let's just zoom in on our candles though and go to our 1 hour chart, or find something that looks a bit cleaner as well. You can take a look at our 15-minute chart here. You can see in the past day we found a bottom at 561, and along with a lot of the other S&P and NASDAQ leaders, we saw a pretty good turnaround today actually. S&P up around $12 from finding a low today, which is really nice. We see that it is currently trending above its 2 moving averages. If we look at our TradingView here, chart on the left, we can see what's going to happen just in the near-term future. On our 45-minute candle is bullish. Our 30-minute candle is still bullish. Our 15-minute candle, it looks like we have a rising wedge on our oscillator, which is a nice thing to see. But on our 5-minute candle, we could be getting overstretched, exactly like we see here. We're losing volume, which is not a bad thing. It's just average momentum, moving average momentum. So we'll probably find another low at 560. Although this is excuse me, never mind. We could find a low at 570, not 560, sorry, tomorrow, mid-morning probably. Or we could continue this momentum and find a high at about 585. I think that just sums it up about here for the charts, but let's just take one more look at our day candles. We have a moving average crossover signaling an uptrend with a golden cross breakout, Yet we still have two indicators that signal a sell on our day candle. What this means is it's trying to find direction. It's at a medium point in its time of price in which it's not necessarily stagnating or sitting still, but it's just pre-volatility before earnings, I'd say. With the buyers actually stepping in here still, which is a nice sign to see. But then again, like I said, the last 8 quarters, Adobe has surprised on earnings, yet they still could have missed on revenue. So going into earnings, that's probably what we might see, just from year to end seasonality. But let's take a look at what the NASDAQ says about Adobe Q3 pre-earnings. So we can see Adobe is set to release its third quarter fiscal 24 financials on September 12th. The company is to report earnings of $4.53 per share for quarter 3. But if we look at the earnings calendar, we'll see here tomorrow on Adobe aftermarket, their consensus is $3.63, beating last year's consensus by about 38 cents or so. Just about. Last year's consensus was $3.26, signaling about a 10% uptrend, which is nice. So analysts forecast both revenue and earnings to increase in fiscal Q3, signaling optimism for Adobe's near-term performance. So that is a good sign. It's worth noting that over the past week, 7 analysts have given the stock a buy rating, and 3 analysts have raised their price targets. If we scroll down here, we can actually see the I know it's here somewhere, the what the consensus is on the market. Here it is. Turning to Wall Street, Adobe has a moderate buy consensus rating based on 21 buys, 5 holds, and 2 sells assigned in the last 3 months. So overall, that's still bullish for Adobe. At $6.13, $613.85, the average Adobe price target implies a 9% upside potential. That's meaning going into earnings, there's about a 8% moving direction that they're expecting. So that's about a $45 move for people who are curious. So if we go up $45, that would mean from 580 we go 10, 20, 30, 40. So right about our high at 625, or we could retest our low at 45. That would be 535. 10, 20, 30, 45. Right, 535 for our low and 625 for our high. Options traders anticipate a large move for Adobe based on a 550 strike price, with call options priced at $31 and put options at $16. The expected price move based on the at-the-money straddle is 8% and 8.47%. Again, about a $45 move. Let's take a look at what the bulls say and what the bears say. So artificial intelligence, along with its competitors, has almost benefited everyone in each sector. So that's obviously a bullish thing to say on artificial intelligence as we learn how to grow businesses and learn how to adopt new practices for businesses moving forward, whether that be slowing down or accelerating. Now going into earnings, Adobe seems to be accelerating. Adobe is coming off of a strong 2Q with NNARR beating guide by 11%. NNARR measures the incremental annual revenue generated by new or expanded customer contracts in subscription-based businesses. So that's great. Adobe makes a lot of money off its new subscription revenue, reflecting strong demand and growth in its core business. Adobe has also set to advance with new product announcements. It says here in fiscal quarter 4, it is set to bring up still better news thanks to product announcements around Max Conference, even greater pricing benefits, and year-end seasonality. Meaning the trend is your friend. Let's see what the bears say about Adobe. So competition is one of Adobe's and any competitor and any company's main competition. But startups like Canva and OpenAI's DALL-E, which has a lot of headwinds, could provide more to Adobe's growth, actually, as we see what companies are putting out on the market. Their financial performance, as I measured earlier, AI may contribute less than expected to Adobe. I don't know if y'all have ever used Adobe, but if you do, you know what I mean. It's I guess less of a chat GBT and more of a application you use like Word or Office. But also, like I said earlier, on their quarters, their earnings may surprise, but they may miss on revenue, which is signaling a different financial performance, the bears say. And also just investor sentiment. So whether people are selling off or buying in before earnings review. Investor sentiment on Adobe remains negative due to generally disappointing net new creativity ARR results over the past few quarters. Honestly, I'm not sure what creative ARR results are, so let's look that up. That means annualized recurring revenue, creative annualized recurring revenue. So that's like implementing AI features and new product developments inside and updating so it doesn't look like Windows 98, for example. Well guys, I think that's going to conclude it for this video. Again, if you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and comment of what I can do better. I really appreciate it. Thank you.